Hello and welcome to Full of Food. This is the first of a series of videos I'm going to be filming of how to cook potatoes in your air fryer. So we're going to start off with a good British roast potato, and we'll be looking at other things like Hasselback potatoes and potato wedges as we go along. But this first video is how to get a cracking roast potato in your air fryer. Air fryer I'm using today is the Cosori Dual. It's new to me and I'm really enjoying using it, and it has a really nice cook on it, and I'm hoping that means I can get my roasties golden brown. So starting off, I've just got some red potatoes here. A lot of people ask me what potatoes I use for roast. I love a red potato. I think they just roast really well. I've got some vegetable oil, salt, pepper, and I'm going to put a little bit of thyme on my potatoes today. You could use rosemary, you could use paprika, you could use garlic, whatever you fancy. Give them a little bit of a flavour as well. So starting off really simply, we're just going to grab our potatoes. We're just going to peel them up and chop them into the right size. Now when I cook roast potatoes in my air fryer, I do always parboil the potatoes for about 10 minutes on the stove. So that's why we've got this pan of water here. We're just going to pop these in and cook them on the stove. That means that I can just soften the edges of the potatoes, give them a little bit of a tumble in that pan before I add my oil and seasonings, and it means that I get that nice crispy coating. The other thing to add as well, I'm not cooking a roast joint today, but if you do cook a roast joint, either in your air fryer or in your oven, and you can get some of that lovely fat off of the joint, then you can add that into your roast potatoes to give just that extra layer of flavour. All I'm going to do is cut these into nice potatoes. I like to do them about this size in my air fryer, but it's complete preference. I know some people like really small ones, get sort of a larger surface area of crispiness. Some people like to keep them quite big. Some people like to make them quite flat. So I'm not doing many here because I'm just doing it as a demonstration for you. But there's my potatoes. I'll just add a little bit of salt to that. Boil that, parboil them for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you how we get them into the air fryer. Potatoes are done, just parboiled, brought to the boil and then parboiled for about 10 minutes. So they're just slightly soft. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our vegetable oil and our seasonings into the pan here, and then transfer it to the air fryer. So I like to put the oil on before, plenty of salt and pepper, before I bash them. So in a minute I'm going to pop this lid back on and I'm going to give them a really good shake, and all I want to do there is sort of damage the edges a little bit to make sure that I get some nice crunchy bits on my potatoes. So lid back on, and then I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shake, and what you'll see is it's just starting to bash those up there. So just keep going until you've got all of the oil covering your potatoes and all of the potatoes looking a little bit bashed on the outside, and that's what's going to make them lovely and crispy. So let's get our drawer out. Like I said, I'm using the Cosori today. I'm leaving my crisper plate in because that's really important in order to get lovely crispy roasties, and all I'm going to do is pour them in. Now the other thing that I need to mention at this point, a little trick, is to make sure you don't overfill this drawer. So what can happen is if you overfill this drawer, they sort of steam instead of crisp up. You want to make sure that every piece of potato is hitting the bottom of that crisper plate. So in we go, and we're going to start this off for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to have a little look and I'll show you what they look like as they cook. Okay, so we've had 10 minutes of cooking and I haven't touched these because I want them to crisp on their own, and we can see that they're starting to crisp up in the basket there. So this now is where I give it a little shake and a little toss, and I really don't want to disturb those too much. So we've got them all in there Let's pop them back in and cook them for another 5 minutes and see how golden they've gone. Okay, so that was on for another 5 minutes. We can see they're getting really gloriously brown. This is the point where if I said you had a little bit extra fat from, say, a meat joint, that you could use that. I'm just going to use some of my vegetable oil, because normally when you cook roast potatoes in the oven, you'd tip up your pan and you'd baste the oil in, but we haven't got that luxury here. So what I like to do is just whack a little bit more oil on, give it another shake, and then we're going to pop these in for another 5 minutes and see how they go. Okay, so another 5 minutes gone, and we can see they are gloriously golden. So if we get them out, you can see they've got a lovely crunchy outside. They smell amazing because of that thyme on them. They're golden on the outside and they're soft and fluffy on the inside. So that's how I do my roast potatoes in the air fryer, and they always end up tasting amazing and going down a treat. Yes, look at that, really lovely and fluffy inside. Got that lovely crunch on the outside. Air fryer roast potatoes done in a total of 50 minutes from me starting to peel them. You could even parboil these and keep them in the fridge and then just pop them in on a Sunday when you need them. Okay, so thanks for watching. I've done a baked potato as part of the potato series in the air fryer, and watch this space, we'll have some more coming up soon. Thank you and bye.